Hello everyone and welcome back to another must-see chess game by Garry Kasparov. And in this chess game his opponent is Viktor the Terrible Korchnoi, one of the greatest chess players of all times who never won the title of the World Chess Championship. So this was a blitz chess game from 1983. Let's see what happened in this chess game. I think Kasparov was much younger than Viktor Korchnoi. So Korchnoi, as we all know, was the arch nemesis of Mikhail Tal. Mikhail Tal was having too much difficulty when trying to defeat Korchnoi. Korchnoi most of the time defeated Tal, and actually on the contrary, Kasparov was like the Korchnoi of Tal for Korchnoi. He always defeated Korchnoi, so Garry Kasparov has 18 wins against Korchnoi, and Korchnoi only defeated Kasparov for one time, and this is not that chess game. This is not the game when he defeated Kasparov, and they drew something like 24 times or something, but of course Korchnoi was much older than Kasparov, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, let's check out what happened in this chess game. Kasparov, the dominator, starts the game with pushing the d pawn to d4, knight to f6, and we have c4, e6, and we basically have the Nimzo-Indian defense. So e3, castling, a3, giving up the bishop and damaging the pawn structure. Actually, this is the theory. So as you can see, the pawns has been damaged. Pushing the d pawn, bishop to d3, developing the pieces, and then e4, c5, knight to e2, developing the knights, and then Garry Kasparov castled, bishop to g4, f3, bishop goes back, and then Kasparov is advancing menacingly with his pawns. He pushed the pawn to d5, and then pushing the g-pawn, g4, a menacing attack by Kasparov, and then h4. Look at this, incredible and aggressive. Already Garry Kasparov is threatening to trap the bishop with pushing the pawn, so actually Korchnoi made a big decision. He decided to sacrifice a piece for 3 extra pawns, and this is actually a bad idea against Garry Kasparov. So swapping off the pawns, destroying the pawn cover, but Garry Kasparov is a piece up. So he is one by one going to play the most accurate moves. Knight in, activating the knight, and pawn up, and then activating the other rook. This rook is also going to be one of the heroes of this game. So b5, c takes, on b5, c4, bishop back, and queen takes on b5, bishop up, knight to b7, giving the boot to the queen, checking the king, but this check does nothing, queen back, and then checking the king, and then knight gets in. As you can see, most of Kasparov's pieces are looking pretty aggressive. Kasparov is deploying his army around the black king, so knight to c5, and then it is white to move. What would you do in this position? Well, Garry Kasparov sacrificed the exchange, but the rook is actually can't be taken by black. So this is why we have knight takes bishop instead of capturing the rook with the pawn. So let's see what happens if capturing the rook. Then basically we have checkmate. Rook to h2 is checkmate. So this is why Korchnoi is not capturing the rook. He captured the bishop. And Kasparov's other rook is pinning the pawn instead of capturing the knight. But maybe in this position, of course, I analyzed this chess game with the engine, and engine says you can actually safely take the knight. And if capturing the rook, we have this move, and actually defending is not so easy. Check, and then queen to h5, and how to defend the checkmate threat. Because of this e-pawn, black king has no escape. So we see dark clouds gathered around the black king. But we have, after knight takes on e6, rook to h2 by Garry Kasparov. Both of the rooks of Garry Kasparov has targets to look forward to attack. This rook is targeting the g-pawn. The other rook is targeting the h-pawn, pinning the h-pawn as well. So king to g8, saving the king, and it is white to move. What would you do? Well, Garry Kasparov is smashing in. Rook takes on h7. What a shot. And what else? Capturing the rook and then checking the king. King goes back and then capturing the knight. So in this position, as you can see, the king is looking so unsafe. Moving the rook. In this position, checking the king is the idea. So moving the rook by Viktor Korchnoi, hoping to escape. But in this position, if pushing the pawn, then we have check. And basically black is getting checkmated and there is no defense. So in this position, escaping. But then Kasparov played the move and Viktor Korchnoi resigned. What would you do? Again. The move is bishop to h6 and Viktor Korchnoi resigned, adding one more attacker. So basically in this position there is no sensible defense. But if you ask what happens if rook to e7, then simply bishop takes on g7. And if rook takes on g7, then rook to h6 is a crashing move, because if rook to h7, pushing the pawn, disconnecting, and then check, check, and basically black is getting checkmated by force. So, and in this position, if something like this, then basically this is all over. So check, check, checkmate. And what do you think about this chess game by Garry Kasparov? And before signing out, I have actually a few interesting photos to show you. These photos are the interesting photos of Garry Kasparov when he was playing with Viktor Korchnoi. So this is when Kasparov, sorry about that. This is when Kasparov, when he was a very little kid. And as you can see, he is playing with Korchnoi. Korchnoi is on the right, of course. So Kasparov is playing with the black pieces against Korchnoi. And this is a pretty rare stuff. A beautiful picture with good quality. So you can see Kasparov on the left when he was only a kid. And these pictures are pretty high quality. So I have one more picture. This is Kasparov when playing with Korchnoi again. In this picture, Kasparov is not a kid anymore. He's a young man playing with Korchnoi in the candidates, I believe. This is also interesting, with very good quality, of course. And I have one more picture, and this is, I believe, from the same candidate match. You see Kasparov on the left and Korchnoi on the right. So again, Kasparov always he always defeated Korchnoi. He only lost one game. Maybe we will check out that chess game when he lost. So thank you so much for watching. Let me show you the final position before signing out. This was the final move, bishop to h6, and Viktor Korchnoi throw in the towel at move 32. So in this blitz chess game. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. So take care and bye bye.